And as a reminder, please silence your cell phone. For guests and visitors, my name is Steve Fairley. I'm the club president and club Santa hat wearer. And I'd like to welcome you all to the 21st meeting of the 48th year of the Dublin Worthington. Today's invocation and pledge of allegiance will be offered by Mr. Jerry Katz. Here you go.
As we center ourselves in an attitude of prayer, let us prepare our hearts and minds to pray to our God in this season, each in their own unique way. We acknowledge in this season the gift of the many blessings that we have and pray that we can share them with others. We pray today especially for those in areas of war, of injustice, of strife, and of famine. We pray for all those who are hungry, homeless, ill, and addicted. For these people, may you, our God, be close and give them comfort, good spirits, and healing. For these things and the prayers on the hearts and minds of those gathered, we all say, Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you, Jerry. Teresa. Yeah, good. Sounds good. Well, Jerry. Back to you. Get your steps inside. There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
Our sergeant, everybody. Yeah. Wow.
I'm looking for the bucket. Teresa's gonna get the bucket, and Teresa's gonna carry the bucket because she didn't have to do any introductions today. And so she's got time to do it. And she's not eating, so that's another reason. All right, so today we're looking for happy dollars. And I know that you have to be happy, so let's see some bucks. There's Charlie, he's always happy.
I am, but I'm really happy that the big cold snap has not hit yet. I'm not leaving the house for 5 days.
There you go. All right, go ahead. There you go. All right, thank you. Any other happy dollars? On Zoom? All right.
I got one.
Oh, good.
I'm happy that those of us that still work have Monday off. Most of us should have Monday off, right?
Yeah.
I'm happy about it.
Well, you can all put in $1 because I know, looking at you, you all have Monday off. Because very few of you are working. Even if you're young enough to work, you're not working.
It's my daughter's birthday.
Is that a happy dollar? You're throwing it in for charity? Okay.
Yeah, everybody owes $1, so you can go around and collect it. And today is Look on the Bright Side Day. And so that's the end. Bye. You ought to be lucky, you ought to be happy. Is that the dad joke? That's it. No jokes, no history, no nothing.
Little cheater.
I didn't like the reception I got last time.
Oh.
And I need to.
Does anybody have any announcements? You guys gonna make me announce them all?
I do.
Yes. Peggy, please.
Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas. I just wanted to thank everyone again for doing such a great job donating to the kids' Christmas this year. Everywhere I delivered them, they said, thank you very much. And I told them we look forward to doing it again next year. And I did get a report, the one little girl that wanted the bike, she is having some health issues. So I want to say a prayer for her. But I think when she gets up Christmas morning and sees that bike and all the gifts that you guys donated, it's going to make her feel a lot better. So thank you very much and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Peggy. Alan.
Hi, everybody. I'll make an announcement from your foundation, who I'm very happy to report. As recently as this week, we are helping a family with $2,200 after 11 years. The poor woman was a single woman with some kids, lost her job, found a new one, and just needs some help getting herself caught up, and she'll be fine with her new job. So the foundation is going to give her the money to make that happen. Thank you for your support, and certainly consider, as we come into the last giving week of this year, you're welcome to make another donation to the 501c3 foundation. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan.
Hey, Steve,
Yes, John.
I have a kind of a sad announcement. Honorary member Frank White his health has taken a turn for the worse. He is in hospice care at Friendship Village. Frank is 91 years old. So I'm sure that everyone will offer their thoughts and prayers. June, we exchanged emails with June White, his wife, yesterday, and she, obviously is concerned about his health, and he's hanging on, and the family's coming into town, and so he's hanging on to see his family. So
Shocking.
All right.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. We appreciate the invitation. Okay, any other announcements? All right, we do have a holiday party coming up. It is next week, 7 days from now. It is at, who can tell me where it's at? There we go. Yeah. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. Bonnie will have an in-person raffle, but we will also be having, and is currently going on, an online raffle, and I will show you right now. So you should have all received a link both in the newsletter and directly to our online raffle. We've got a number of great items. Jerry has dutifully been accepting them and trying to find them for the last couple months. And so this is the culmination of that. But you'll see you can buy entries, or you can just make a general donation if you'd like. There's a little explanation, and then you can see all the different items that we are raffling off. We've got jewelry donated by Christy Brody, thank you. We've got the Scioto Country Golf Club outing donated by Bill Seplow, who I coordinated. We've got the Columbus Blue Jackets and OSU memorabilia package. A lot of good signed stuff in there, donated through coordination of Roger Johnson and Christy Brody. We've also got 2 days at the Bear Cozy Cabin, donated by Katie. Where'd she go? Oh, she was here somewhere. So that's fun. I've been there. It's actually it's very cozy and very varied. I mean, it's very good. And then the bar starter sets. There's all kinds of goodies in there. So yeah, if you haven't yet, go buy your tickets. We've raised so far $360. Okay, thank you. To myself. All right, youth exchange. Emily Yondo and Romero have been working behind the scenes to set up our annual youth exchange host weekend. Many of you should be familiar with that. It's where youth exchange students from the district come and we host them for the weekend. This year, like prior years, we're going to take them to Cosi. And then we're going to need some Rotarians to host these students in their home and feed them dinner. And then take them to Worthington, one of the school. Jennifer, do you know the school youth exchange students are going to? No? That's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, never mind. Well, you know the drill. There's gonna be some students, so we will need volunteers. We'll get a sign up sheet for that, very soon. Okay, any other announcements that I'm forgetting? Well then, Christy, if you wouldn't mind introducing our program. Oh, go ahead.
Quick announcement before the speaker. We do have another Buddy Box packing event scheduled for January. It's Thursday, January 12th from 6 to 7 at the Family Mentor Foundation, which is on Single Tree Drive. There will be emails going out on that, but I am going to pass a sheet this afternoon. It is capped at 25 volunteers, but we can have members, friends, family, but this will go around today. Now for our speaker, so several times now we've heard from members of I Am Boundless, which is an organization here in Worthington on the campus for the old Harding Hospital. The last person that came in to talk to us talked about the construction of their new health center, which I believe is the first of its kind in the country.
In Ohio.
In Ohio. So today we're going to hear from Steve Cook. He's the outreach manager for I Am Boundless and Boundless Health. He joined the family in August of 22, where he works closely with subject matter experts to develop new referral partners and drive patient acquisition for Boundless Health and the Boundless family nonprofits. Steve develops partnerships with community organizations, government agencies, businesses, and parents to connect patients to Boundless' mission of providing high-quality, person-centered programs that support people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and behavioral health challenges throughout Ohio. Please welcome Steve.
Oh, no. So this is just gonna get me where I need to go.
Yep.
Okay. Everyone, everyone. Everyone hear me okay? Good. Yes, so I'm Stephen Cook. I'm the outreach manager for I Am Boundless. Thank you so much for having us here today. We're honored to be here. So like she kind of took away some of my thunder that, yeah, I pretty much just kind of started. And I've started to obviously be the outreach manager, which I'm supposed to be obviously be out there in the community to discuss all the great programming at I Am Boundless. And with that, I know that we've been here before, but I guess I'm going to ask, who really knows about I Am Boundless? I know. Okay. Here's a trick question. Who knows where we're located? That's always a trick question because I'm a Worthington resident, and from years I've driven by 161 and what is that? Or what is I Am Boundless? So we are located, pretty much you go right underneath the railroad bridge coming into Worthington, or the railroad museum bridge, right there on the left. Most people know us because that's where the Harding Hospital is. And that is where our old offices are. And I'll talk a little bit more how we've moved into our new offices. And just to rehash a little bit about what we do. So we've been an organization for over 40 years. And primarily what we do is provide programming for folks which we consider intellectual developmental disabilities. More often, we're working with folks which we consider are on the spectrum or autism. The interesting fact is we've provided those programmings. We have our CEO is, let's just say, somewhat entrepreneur. And with that, we have really been growing. We have been acquiring other programs throughout the state. I personally, I work in Columbus, West Carrollton, and Newark. I know it's a weird territory, but we're in Youngstown, Marion, and we're growing every day. Why? Because just unfortunately, the incredible need, but really what we're trying to do is create an I Am Boundless way, a brand, if you will, a way of doing it. We have felt, especially at COVID with funding, we've just seen the level of attention, if you will, towards this population decrease, and we're fighting tooth and nail to not let that happen. And if not that, improve the level of care, and that's what I Am Boundless is all about. Really providing what we consider quality products, and I'll go into product programs, excuse me, but more what I'll talk about later is what we consider centered, focused care and programming. So that's a little bit of rehash about us. I haven't done this in 4 years, so I got a little stage fright right now. So, all right, beautiful. So, like I mentioned, we've always been up in the front of where the Harding Hospital is. We have just moved back. We actually sit on 41 acres back there. If anybody's ever gone back there, it's kind of gone through. I'm jumping around here. OSU owned it for a long time. OSU really didn't know what to do with it, and so a lot of the buildings kind of sat there. A lot of teenagers, oh yeah, that's where whatever. But we are now really trying to develop the area, even sell perhaps some of it off to find people that can work with us in terms of providing services for our mission. But again, we've been in that front building, and now we have moved back to in the back. So if you go drive by 161, you see the I Am Boundless, you'll see a long driveway. This is what you'll see at the end of the driveway. And then to the left of it, we have a new administrative office, but we're also looking to open up a wellness center. So, and again, just stay tuned because we're looking to develop different things around the property. Again, all focus on programming that service this particular population. So this is our medical facility. The interesting thing about this is it's 3 levels. And like I said, there's only 2 of those in America. So Worthington should be very proud of that. And I don't think we toot our horn enough. So there's one in California, and we now have one. There's the level of care is done in different places, but not in one facility. And that's what makes us unique. So on the bottom floor, we have behavioral health. So this would be our psychiatry, counseling, speech therapy. We're going to move into occupational therapy and physical therapy. So that's on the bottom floor, and then your initial diagnosis as well. On the main floor is primary care. So it's an actual working medical facility, which I'll go into later. Any one of you guys can use this medical facility. It's open to all. Again, the level of care, though, is focused on that population. Again, I'll go into that later. And then on the 3rd floor is dentistry. So we actually have dentistry. I'll talk a little bit more about how much we're doing there. But if you can only imagine, for any of us, just to have all that medical provided in one facility is extremely advantageous, especially with this population. I mean, it is very hard sometimes just to get in the car. It's very hard to get out to appointments and so forth. And to have this facility that's, be able to provide all level of care and be able to knock it out in one day, extremely advantageous. And the most important thing, I don't have many pictures of it. I'll talk about it later. I'll encourage tours, but it's a beautiful building. I mean, we are trying to take the whole clinical side out of an office or a medical visit, and it's very much like a home. And you go in, and the way the whole facility is set up, I'll talk about it later. It's like a home. And again, we do this because the fact that I think in the past it's been a shortfall that just the care that's given to this population is very clinical. We're trying to make it very homey and comfortable. So that is the front of the facility. So again, the level of care, I'm going to cheat and look at my notes. So I talked about it, the behavioral health, psychiatry, primary care, and the dental and the speech therapy. So again, it's very important. I mean, it's just awesome that this all can be provided in one facility. Stop me with any questions too. I'm kind of rattling through. I'm used to doing tours, so I'm doing this. I'm pointing to rooms and everything. So work with me here. So who do we serve? So like I mentioned, we built it for the IDD community, but again, it's very important to understand that anyone can use this. And the great thing about that too is the fact that it's right there in Worthington. So if you're guys looking for appointments or anyone's looking for appointments, especially your family, it's just accessible. Right now, Children's does incredible work, but with all the construction down there, you can burn up a half an afternoon just parking. We're nonprofit, so it's very important to remember in the level of we care. I think this is what allows us to give that more person-centered care. But with that, we do work with a lot of lower income Medicaid patients, which is very important. A lot of dentists right now are not working with Medicaid patients, so we're getting a little bit of an influx of that. And then, like I said, all ages, it's important, but we do a lot with transitional care. There's a lot of folks that are, especially in this population, that are in pediatrics and they're aging out. So we're starting to work with them. And then obviously the staff at Boundless. So what makes us unique? Can you still hear me? Because I'm trying to do this by the mic, so I'm just going to yell. We do virtual meet and greets. Obviously, in this day of COVID, we have learned to do a lot of our medical care via the Zoom meetings and so forth. Obviously, our tours I've talked about, waiting room conveniences of where it's located. I think it's important to remember with this building, it was built for this population. So what does that mean? The rooms are very open. They're very wide open. We have quiet rooms. A lot of times with this population, we know it's not a perfect science in terms of the level of care you give them. Back to our person-centered care, we know that this may be the day that Johnny doesn't want to sit in the main room. So we have a nice quiet rooms and so forth. But that goes for anyone that uses the facility. My kids go to the pediatrician, it looks like a submarine. I mean, the rooms are tight. You're going down those tight little hallways. Our space, you'll learn, it's very open. And again, back to the homing, we have probably 30-foot ceilings and so forth. So again, the way it's set up is with rounded corners. We have very wide doorways because we know that a lot of times with this population or any population, there's more often people going in with the patient as well as wheelchairs and so forth. So that kind of, again, I would encourage any of you guys to come for a tour, but again, there's a lot of unique characteristics, if you will, in terms of how the building was built. I talked about all-inclusive. Again, we accept all insurances, but we do a lot with Medicaid, Medicare, and so forth. And then the virtual appointments after hours. So again, we're just trying to make it all-inclusive in terms of the level of care we give. And that's very important. And then back to the last thing, the level of care, person-centered care, specialized equipment, dim lights, calm environment. So again, the care is different. We're very focused on this population, but we also honor this level of care with everyone, the person-centered care. Our appointments are scheduled at 45 minutes apiece to an hour and a half, which is pretty unheard of in modern medicine. We do that because we understand that, especially working with this population, it may take that much time. So probably unique than other medical situations. Again, it's very focused on the patients. And again, that's even how we see them in terms of where they sit in the rooms. There's different kind of seating in the rooms that we know, hey, this person may not want to sit in that seat, then they're going to sit in there. The consultations are done in a different room than the actual exam rooms because we want to provide that level of care. And you'll see in our consultation with our behavioral health that they look like little living rooms and so forth. It's very comfortable. Again, trying to take the whole clinical side out of medical care. So this is important. We actually brought in Dr. Ripson from Texas to be our medical director. And why? Because we wanted someone that is focused on working with this population. And she's got a long history of working in family care throughout. More often, she worked in Virginia, lower socioeconomic situations. But so again, this is important because it more or less personalizes the level of care. obviously, more often you'll go to a doctor, you kind of get swept into a system, if you will. We are right at this point, Dr. Ripson is doing all the appointments. We will be having medical assistants and nurse practitioners helping once we get busier, but she oversees all the care. The other thing too is, and I'm back to the building design, we're actually putting in a pharmacy too. It's built out right now, but obviously supply and demand. Once we get more patients, we're gonna populate the pharmacy. That you guys can use that as well. And that's so versus going to a CVS. But the important thing about that in terms of the level of care is obviously Dr. Ripson's right there as she prescribes, or any of the doctors in the pharmacy is right there to answer any questions, which is very, this population, the IDD populations tends to be 4 times over medicated than normal population. So we're trying to be very careful with that. But more importantly, once you've gotten the care, the pharmacy is right there, which is very important. It's right. So again, trying to make it very easy and accessible. This is the big thing that's happening probably within the month. We have provided dentistry. We have used dentists from Nizonger, I believe it is. I always butcher that name, out of OSU. We actually even borrowed our dental director from there. We have just hired a brand new dental director, which is gonna really make us a lot more busier, if you will, because there's such a strong need. But we have basically been using one room downstairs as a dental room. We have not moved upstairs because we just got the elevator approved. Anybody work with Worthington? Anyway, so we just got the elevator approved. So now we're going to move everything upstairs. We're just finishing up this month and building out all the rooms. But we provide one dental chair. In the month's time, we're going to have 3 dental chairs and then ultimately 6 dental, I say chairs, dental rooms upstairs, providing care. So again, we're very excited to have Dr. Beard join us. And again, he's joining this month as well. And again, this is kind of the just talking about what I just talked about, the dental relaunch. We've been doing it, but we're more or less again this month going to be relaunching it. So you may be hearing more about that as stuff happens. So that's it. I was supposed to be a code presentation, so it's a little bit shorter, I know. But I would love questions. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
What were the initials that you were saying? You called the folks what?
I apologize. Yeah, intellectual developmental disabilities. And I apologize. Yeah, you get kind of you just jump right into it. And again, that could be Down syndrome, even cerebral palsy, and obviously we have seen, because there's a Down syndrome society, we seem to work a lot more with autism, but it's anyone that's in of the IDD population.
What's the age range?
All ages. All ages. Yeah, so we'll see young to senior citizens as well. Right now, we're seeing more often younger, but again, it really has to do with how often do we go to the doctor, and I think, the older folks don't go as much perhaps. So right now, because of the checkups, and a lot of times with this population too, they have, they need to go med management. So, and that happens at a younger age. So we're going in and monitoring their medication. So they need to come in, but it's younger now, but it's all ages. Good question.
Does anybody live on the campus?
No, no one lives on the campus.
And how many buildings do you have on the campus?
Oh, boy. I'm not quite sure. I would say,
how many buildings are?
oh, how we're using? We're using about 5 buildings right now. And this actually is a renovated building too. I should have mentioned that. It looks like a brand new, beautiful new build, but it's a renovation of an old ugly building. But yeah, I encourage just to even go through there and take a loop, just to drive back. It's kind of, I think a lot of what we have done in the community, in the state, has kind of been best kept secret. We've been very fortunate because we've got a lot of referrals and we've worked with agencies, but a lot of folks just don't know what we do. And again, I think as autism, living on the spectrum is coming more to the forefront, we're obviously kind of going with that. Yes, sir.
And you have the whole facility, right? You have all of the Harding Hospital.
Yep.
facility.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but I know they're looking. We're not going to develop all that to be us. We're looking to partner with someone who knows, but providing a service that would be complementary to what we do. But, I'm not sure yet. Yes, sir.
Do you partner with any local or statewide residential or foster care systems that you don't provide them?
No, not right now, but we will, and that's kind of what I've reached out to Buckeye Ranch, things like that. Is that what you're talking about? Or is it, yeah, so that's my goal, and that's what I've been brought on to do. Again, we've had referrals, it's kind of piecemealed, and we're looking to, I'm a big fan of strategic partnerships. And, but I think now with the clinic, the facility, it's enabled us to create that level of partnership, because we're unique.
Yeah, you do provide full day treatment for folks on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, yeah, and that's a great question, and we're living in a post-COVID world, and we did a lot more, and then around the state and the individual, we've kind of cut back a little bit, and now we're building back. A lot of it has to do with just in terms of the general population, how they relate to us, but the biggest challenge is manpower, is finding people. Interesting enough, I was in West Carrollton, and I think they had the last 6 months, 2 applications, and they had like 30 in the last 30 days. I think people are going back to work. So can't live like this anymore. So with that, once we get more manpower, that's going to enable us to increase. So though we just do that one program now, we're looking to increase to do more. Yes, sir.
It seemed like for a while behavioral health was kind of on its own island, and in the last 3 or 4 years, there's this big push to integrate it with primary care and dentistry and children's services. Is that just for accessibility's sake because of the population you serve, or is there some larger purpose there that I might not?
Accessibility.
Okay.
And again, it kind of goes back to the mystique, for a better word, of the fact that we're talking about that stuff now. Everything from suicide, this stuff is more prevalent in front of us now, and so they're seeing a need where it's kind of been dealt with. Now they're understanding the strong need. So obviously, as a medical provider, they're trying to do more. And it's interesting, side note too, because I'm always engaging with behavioral health, and I'm coming at it from the autism spectrum, Down syndrome side of it. Behavioral health has moved so much into addiction now. It's incredible that, and it's tragic that it's because it's needed, but yeah. So to your point, we're yeah, it's supply and demand. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
So what else do you do in the other buildings?
Those are just would be our day programs and so forth. Again, we have one main building that's right now hosts. We have a boardroom and we have some offices, and we have actually a basketball gym, and we're looking to do some wellness programs over there and so forth. That's kind of the new builds, the new renovation. The rest of the other buildings is where we do our day programs.
And what are your day programs? What do you do?
Basically, right now, for this change within the last 30 days. I mean, we just host kids. We do kind of a level of respite. And then more often the older folks to just do kind of just day program. We try to do some level of curriculum with them. Everyone has different needs and so forth. Then there's psychiatric there as well.
So it's like an adult daycare.
Yeah. And we're looking to move, I mean, again, like West Carroll does vocational training, and we're looking to move to do more of that here. We're just trying to figure out how we can do it, because we don't want, it makes natural sense we do that, but then again, Goodwill's doing that, you know what I mean? So we're trying to do this from a perspective that's going to be the most efficient way we can do it, that benefits all, but we're trying to navigate the waters. And again, West Carrollton's different, Newark's different, in terms of just trying to create the programming that's going to make sense. Yeah.
Well, Stephen, thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate you guys. My information's there, and I encourage you, I'll take any of you guys on a tour. I mean, I always feel the best level of education, advertising, if you will, is if you go see it and you run into a parent and say, hey, my gosh, you know what's going on over there. because we're kind of tucked back there. But more importantly, only 2 of those in America, and it's Worthington. So you should be very proud of the fact that the city invested in it. So, thank you.
Let's back down now. Thanks again, Stephen. All right, like I said before, this is the last meeting of this quarter year. Next week, we're going on holiday. If you have not already RSVP, please do so, whether you're coming or not, just so. And then I'll have our. It's all good. Three in the daily.
And 310.
Okay, the last 3 digits are 6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8.
This is the daily for $23. 6, 7, 8.
I'll take that, Jim.
Okay.
And you said 310 in the ace of spades.
Yes.
Okay.
This is for the foundation you're donating that. Okay. So, yeah, in ace of spades, 310. Isn't you're up? I'm not letting it look. 2, 6, 6, 9.
6, 6, 9. Adrian, Marley?
Right one.
With the hearts. Okay, thank you very much. All right, everybody, get out of here a little early so you can get on the road to your friends and family. But before we do that, we must recite the forward test. Of the things we think, say, and do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair and all concerned? Third,
goodwill and better friendships
and fourth.
will be beneficial to all concerned.
Thank you, everybody. Please remember to turn your cell phones on. I hope you have a happy holiday and Merry Christmas. Remember to be for you. We'll see you next week at holiday party. We are adjourned. Yeah.